So
Did you anticipate that at all? I mean, obviously you knew SEC, all that stuff. Did you allow yourself to get that far down the road with the Auburn or anybody?
Well, it's such a rat-paced time right now, right, in terms of recruiting and going through all that. But you know all the scenarios. I mean, you know what could happen. Yesterday, watching the bowl games unfold, and the day before, in terms of this person has to beat that person, and that person has to beat this person, and it's really out of your hands. But we knew that we had a chance to possibly go to Citrus or Outback. We knew that the Rose Bowl was probably not going to be an opportunity, or the Cotton Bowl based on our last game of the year. But we had a tremendous season, and we knew that this could have an opportunity to happen. We felt like the best chance was to go to the Outback Bowl, which University of Minnesota has never been to, which is just another never. It's another way to be able to create something that our program has not experienced. So we're very thankful for it. Very honored to represent the Big Ten, very honored to represent University of Minnesota, and we have an unbelievable opponent down in Tampa on January 1st.
You always think about the great speed and all that stuff. Have you even had a chance to ingest and look at them a little bit?
Well, I will tonight. We've already got them on our iPads as we go out recruiting tonight for another week. Coordinators are in the office this week, going to be studying them and putting together some part of the game plan and being familiar with them as we start practicing. We won't practice for Auburn until Saturday. That'll be the first day that we actually have a little bit of Auburn that we apply to practice. But they're very, very good. I got a chance to watch a few of their games just based on when we played versus what they played. Their 3 losses come to top 10 teams. When you look at what they did to Alabama at the end of the year and kind of shook up that college football playoff, it doesn't surprise you. It's Gus Malzahn's team. They're physical, they're fast, they're big, they're strong, typical top of the SEC type team. They're very, very talented, and they showed that towards the end of the year as well, and especially with the teams that they beat.
How did you guys try to reset after the Wisconsin game?
Well, the biggest thing is, we gave our players a little time off. Just like everybody who just played yesterday, you heard a lot of the head coaches saying we're going to give our players a week off as we go out recruiting. We did that last week. We gave our players a week off, and now we're back to work. Had a great practice today, but really just kind of let the season digest, get them studying with just their academics, take the football pressure off of them. We have a big team meeting after that loss, and really kind of went through the whole thing of why it happened, and very similar to anytime people lose, you don't take care of the football and you don't make plays. And we all could have done a better job, but Wisconsin showed how good Wisconsin is against Ohio State, especially at halftime. And I think everybody got a chance to see how good Wisconsin was and is. So I know they're representing us in the Rose Bowl, and we got to keep changing our best and setting a new standard and a new expectation here at the University of Minnesota. So we'll continue to do that. But I thought they handled it really well. In terms of when I say that they handled it well, they handled it in a classy fashion where they knew they had to come back and fix a lot of things. They know why it happened, and they had a tremendous practice today. They responded well.
How much did last year's win in the bowl game kind of launch you into the successful season you've had this year, and then how maybe this bowl game do the same?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't think it really – I believe whatever happens in one year has nothing to do with the next year. I really believe that. I think it makes you have a really good offseason. Everybody feels good. The last game you played, there's a good taste in your mouth because you won. But I think that's pretty much it. As we continue to go, the level of our bowl game has completely changed. It has rise to a completely different level. No disrespect to who we played last year. It's just now you're playing one of the top 12 teams in the country in Auburn, and you know what they bring to the table. And one of the best bowl games you can possibly go to that's not a New Year's Six bowl in the Outback Bowl. So I think that level changes, and the expectation changes, and the level of competition changes. And I think that's very healthy for your program. That's more healthy than just saying, if we win, this happens next year. If we lose, this happens next year. It's a completely new team next year, completely new character, completely new camaraderie. But we'll talk about next year. We just got to be able to find a way to be able to be the best we can be on January 1st.
Heard you mention it with Elise. How did you tell the team? What was their reaction?
Yeah, we didn't really tell them in any special way. Usually I have something special planned, but we had practice during when that was going to happen. So in the middle of practice, called them up, told them where we were going. They hoop and hollered, and then we went right back to work. But I think everybody understood. We had a team meeting prior to practice where I laid out some scenarios, talked about the Citrus Bowl, we talked about the Outback Bowl, talked about the Gator Bowl, and these are the situations that will have to happen. And Penn State going to the New Year's Six obviously slid us right into the Outback Bowl, which happened the way we kind of thought it would happen. And got to congratulate them on a great season too, and them representing the Big Ten in the Cotton Bowl.
Will this be the same team we saw all year, or you got some people now that it's your fourth game of red shirts that you're not going to burn them out, and there's always a chance of new wrinkles for a bowl game. Will it be what we saw all year, or do you like to experiment at all?
Well, I think that the nuts and bolts will be basically what you've seen, right, in terms of our system. Obviously, when you have a long time to prepare for one game and you have a lot of time to be able to sit back and really put a game plan together, just like I'm sure they will, there's going to be a lot of new wrinkles. There's some guys that we may haven't played that are going to get 2 to 3 weeks of really prep that are going to help us next year, that we can get in the rotation and keep them going. So I think it's really healthy that way. Again, for the young guys who are going to be redshirted or who we are redshirting or maybe aren't playing a lot, who are going to help us next year, these next 2 weeks are critical for them. And this is an extra spring practice, a spring ball that we're getting them extra reps to prepare them for one game so they can master the system. There's not a lot of scout teams going on right now. We got 4 or 5 practices truly before we actually have a true scout team. So that's what we're going to use it for, develop them within the system, then apply them to the game plan.
As of right now, are there any players that aren't going to play in the bowl game, like a Denell Green or Blake Cashman from last year?
Not sure yet. I haven't even thought about that. We've got guys rehabbing and getting better, but no decisions necessarily been made on some of those guys. But I'm sure there's going to be some that end up playing that were hurt and some that probably don't end up playing.
Being that you've been out recruiting pretty heavily this last week, I'm just curious, have you noticed an impact that this great season has had on recruiting?
Well, I think, yeah, absolutely. Our brand is spreading at a rapid rate nationally, and I think that's healthy. You're not going into living rooms these days and people don't know who the University of Minnesota is. They don't know what Row the Boat is. Everybody knows, and especially outside the state of Minnesota. And when people recognize that, and you're walking down the street and people, hey, row the boat, and just in the middle of Florida or Texas or Las Vegas or Ohio or Pennsylvania, and they're yelling that out to you. And then when you get into school, coaches show you, how row the boat's been applied to their life, and that's what this is all about. And we're going to continue to push that envelope, continue to be able to recruit people nationally, not only in state but outside of our state, and bring the best talent we possibly can. But again, we've got to, everybody's got an obligation to uphold, and we've got to continue to do a better job of that and continue to change our best.
Coach, we didn't see Falele or Paulson, Cam Wiley. Any updates on those guys?
Didn't see him where?
Or just in the game, they left the game or didn't play.
Oh yeah, they were at practice today, but they've got some things they've got to get through, and it's too early for me to give you an update. I mean, January 1st is a long way away, but they're hurt right now. So I don't know the proper term: questionable, doubtful, probable, hurt. So we'll see. We'll see where they go from there.
Have you heard anything more about Winfield and his decision?
No, I'm going to see him tomorrow. Nagurski Awards Banquet. We're going to be out there, and I'm going to go out there. He's already out there right now, but I'm going to go out there and meet him after some recruiting and things like that. And with Heather and I will go out there with his family, and I don't know. I'm sure I'll throw out a few things here and there subliminally to him as we sit at the table. But he definitely deserves it. Especially it's a fun week. One, you got the press conference at the Outback Bowl. You're recruiting. You got Antoine Winfield Jr. up for the Nagurski. On Thursday, you've got Casey O'Brien in the Disney Spirit Award, which is the exact same time as the Outback press conference, which makes it very difficult for me to be in 2 places, which is very difficult. So we'll have definitely representation with Casey in the Spirit Award, which is tremendous for him. But that's where we're at. He's doing tremendous. You can follow up with him when he's ready to talk about it, but he's doing really, really good. And he's got a great attitude about his entire situation. Always has, always will. But, he's Casey. You can give him every adjective known to man in terms of being the toughest young man you've ever met, or his spirit or his will. And he fits every bill. But he's what Row the Boat's all about. He's a champion, and he's a champion in life, and he's going to keep doing it. Thanks, everybody. Yep, thank you.